Part 19. Exploring the World, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 181. Yashi exhaled a breath of turbid air, always feeling that something was wrong, thinking that these people were fooling him. Especially this world and his authority are inextricably linked, perhaps the two are entangled together, so it is a bit difficult for him to analyze this new world in the past. What is even more strange is that after the system came to this kettle secret realm, the progress bar seemed to be stuck. Apart from introducing the details of the origins of these fairy tale characters to himself, nothing else was said. Although many thoughts flashed through his mind, Yeshi still asked what the key was. As a result, the two people argued for a long time, and except for the word key, Pigsy knew nothing. Yeshi gave up struggling directly, and then prepared to change direction to see. Changing to another direction means that the people you meet and the things you experience are completely different. For example, the other line is that many people save their lives and pledge their lives to each other, but now this line is that gold, silver, treasures and various unexpected magic items come to Yeshi as if they are free, tempting him to use these magic items. Of course, Yeshi still felt something was wrong. Then when he reached the end, Yeshi saw Snow White lying in a coffin blocking the only road. The netizens watching the live broadcast couldn't help laughing. Is this the fate that Longuo talked about? Hey, the above person is right, indeed, this is ape feces. What the hell, this world really uses the sleeping Snow White as a door-blocking artifact all the time, right? I won't say who is unlucky. Golden Hair Shell, if you observe carefully, you should be able to see that this is the same place as before, that is, no matter which direction you go in the world, you will end up here. Yeshi thought so too. In order to verify his guess, he let the Kingian sword go all the way forward in another direction, and finally returned to Yeshi. It seems that the problem is indeed here, but I don't know why I couldn't get through even though I had clearly moved the coffin before. The so-called key that Pigsy mentioned is also vague. No one knows after asking around. Pangbo, where is the problem? The problem is with you. You need to chew the coffin yourself, you know. Oh, it's true. If you can't do it, let me do it. I like chewing coffins. Alegio, I personally tend to think that the key they are talking about is the kettle we saw before. Everyone should remember that this world is a world inside a kettle, right? Here, people have come in. Where can we get the kettle? This is embarrassing. Kettle secret realm, you need the key to get out. Yeshi, but you have to go out and get the key. Kettle secret realm, you can only go out if you have the key. What a dead loop. It's just a guess, this guess may not be true, just wait for Yeshen. Yeshen used to solve this kind of thing with one sword before, why is he so gentle this time? Yeshi didn't see this barrage. If he saw it, he would probably complain in his heart. Other people's things can be cut with one sword, but this world is mine in the end, so try not to damage it if you can. Yeshi actually has this idea now. Besides, the system has emphasized the relationship between the kettle secret realm and his authority so many times, and he is not a fool who doesn't notice this. It's just that he doesn't understand what to do here. Forget it, I decided to try another way. Yeshi took out the Kingian sword, and saw a sword full of cold air appeared in front of everyone. Looking at this sword, it was as if the whole person was trapped in the boundless sea water, and there was a suffocating feeling. At other times, although Yeshi also took out the Kingian sword, it was only a flash in the pen, and now those alien viewers can be regarded as truly seeing the sword in Yeshi's hand. Among them, a creature from an alien that looked like a water ball was the most surprised. What kind of treasure is this? It actually has such magical power. I just seem to have seen the sea god. Poseidon, right? I suggest you watch the episode where Yeshen explores Atlantis. You will see that the sea god Poseidon died 30,000 years ago. Don't worry about it, this is just a pure sword. I don't know if the person who broadcasts the live broadcast knows the coordinates of our planet. I am a little scared. This treasure seems to have the power of the ocean. I feel that my whole body is attracted by it. If the explorer who broadcasts the live broadcast comes to our planet to explore, I am afraid that you will come to colonize us. Yunran is me, brother. You all have extraordinary powers and can rub missiles with your hands, but you are still worried that we will colonize you. Hey, you are rebelling. Pangbo, this sword, too powerful. This is the first time I have seen a mortal planet with such a magic weapon, but how can a mortal planet have such a magic weapon? Boss, come to my place, there are many things here that you can't even think of on Blue Star. Who are you looking down on by saying this? Our Blue Star just had a little problem, but it is recovering now. I really can't stand your coffin board. Come, I'll give you the link. Go and see the great god who repaired the sky 30,000 years ago. Yeshi held the Kingian sword and mobilized the divine power in his body. The coldness of the sword dissipated. It was obviously a narrow water blue sword, but it seemed to contain an infinite sea. At this time, I suddenly appeared, and Yeshi used the Kingian sword to freeze the coffin in front of him. After freezing, there were crackling sounds, and the entire ice broke apart and disappeared into the air. There was no one blocking the passage ahead. It's really that Yeshen can tell whether there is a chance or not with just one move. It's too amazing, my god. My Satan, no, my Yeshen, you are the real Lord, you are the almighty Satan, you are omnipotent. That's enough, your chicken feet are exposed, thank you. Yeshi put away the Kingian sword, then pointed to the empty road in front and said, I will try again now to see if I can get out. In the middle, I will feel how it teleports me away, so if there are some abnormalities, don't be too surprised. After Yeshi said this, he called the Kunlun divine tree to come over and get closer to where he was. Then strode forward. This time the road was much longer than the last time. Last time, Yeshi returned to the Qingqing grassland in almost a blink of an eye. This time, Yeshi directly let the Kunlun divine tree hold this place, and also just fix it, and then carefully observe what happened. At this time, the space on both sides was sliding back quickly, just like playing a movie. Except that the screen of this movie was highlighted by bronze-like branches, which looked extremely creepy. God tree, is this god tree behind the scenes? It turns out that there is a tree behind the Kettle secret realm. I was wondering why there is a large forest outside. Look carefully, this is Yeshen's tree. Yeshi let Kunlun god tree support for 3 seconds and confirmed one thing. After waving his hand to let it go back, he looked at the camera with a serious face. No, there is no change in space here. I was blinded by my perception before. Ding, congratulations to the host. At this moment, just like that moment, Yeshi finally heard the reminder of the system in his ears. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 182. Ding, congratulations to the host for improving the exploration of the Kettle map by 34%, and the overall progress is now 50%. Ding, congratulations to the host for unlocking the second puzzle piece of the Kettle secret realm. You will be rewarded with Fairy Tale Encyclopedia X1, Flying Carpet X1, Fairy Tale Unicorn X1, Poison Apple X1, Golden Walnut X1, and Kettle Secret Realm Fragments X2. The Kettle Secret Illustrated Book, Snow White, The Mysterious Forest. Snow White, the most special existence in this fairy tale world. She has been falling into a deep sleep from the beginning of the fairy tale world until now. Except for the fact that someone chewed the coffin board where she was sleeping before she woke up, and then fell into a deep sleep again. She is in deep sleep. She is a very special center in this world. Yes, that's right, it's just as you imagined, blocking the door. Mysterious Forest, the secret realm of the Kettle is extremely special. Please understand this once again. When you successfully walk out of the road blocked by Snow White, you will come to the mysterious forest, where you have the authority you want, and the entire fairy tale. The world, once again, the fairy tale world is not equal to the secret realm of the kettle. The Encyclopedia of Fairy Tales contains all the celebrity anecdotes and hobby secrets in the entire fairy tale world. With it, you will become the most popular existence in the entire fairy tale world. No one will not act according to your ideas. It's you are the new one, the communicative king of the era. You can ask questions you want to know about any character in the fairy tale world through the fairy tale encyclopedia. Poison apple. This is a very special poison apple because it is poisonous on both sides. As for its use, it is useful. Anyone can fall asleep and not die as long as he takes a bite. Yes. Golden walnut. This is a very special specialty of the kettle secret realm. You will understand the specific effect after eating one. It has power that mortals cannot imagine. It is a treasure derived from the power of dreams. It has only one effect. As you wish. When Yeshi listened to the tinkling sound in his ears, he didn't feel irritated, but felt very friendly. As for what he said, many people were puzzled, but Yeshi did not explain it further. But wait until he returns to Ching Ching grassland again. Looking at this familiar village, he just said. What I mean is that I didn't go from one place to another at all, nor did I go from one space to another. There was no change in spatial location at all. After saying this, Yeshi shut up. He is now going to go to the fairy tale characters in Yang Yang village one by one to ask what he wants to know. What do you mean by this? Is it stupid to bully me? Let me tell you, Lao Ye, if you don't explain clearly, I will jump out of here right now and my body will be shattered into pieces. I don't understand either. What does it mean that there is no change in spatial position? Does it mean that it is the same position from beginning to end? No, I feel the shortcomings of my IQ. Someone please explain it to me. Aaleguo, I probably understand what the anchor means, but this can only be understood by yourselves. If you don't understand, go and watch the three-body problem. Yang Xuanhuan, it's a very interesting world, I want to see how it will develop in the future. There was a lot of discussion on the barrage. Yeshi went straight to the village chief Hui Tailang's home. Seeing that Big Wolf was a little surprised when he saw Yeshi and was about to say something. Yeshi's words made Big Wolf jump up uncontrollably and quickly closed the door. Big Grey Wolf, you don't want your secret crush on Red Wolf to be known to the whole village, right? Big Wolf. What Japanese anchor? No, why does it smell weird? This Japanese anchor should calm down. The smell is too strong, I will send you a plate of sashimi right away. Big Wolf. How did you know about this? Yeshi's expression was subtle. Then he asked the question he wanted to ask, and finally learned from the other person's constipated expression that the key was in his hand. He took the key, thanked Big Wolf, and ran away without taking a single piece of cloud with him. I was laughing so hard, what a miserable Grey Wolf. Grey Wolf may not know, but his crush on Red Wolf has been known to tens of billions of people. I didn't expect Lao Ye to coax the key to him like this, it was like divine help. Yeshi walked out of the green grassland again. He looked into the camera. Then he said. This should be the last time I return to Ching Ching grassland. Yeshi rubbed his brows, but I really didn't expect that the key would be in the hands of Big Wolf, but it's good, now I can finally go out and see what it's like outside. No, brother, you should explain what you said before. Yeah, I'm just like a headless fly now. Yeshi finally took a look at the live broadcast room and was surprised by the barrage there. No way, I said it so clearly, but there are still people who don't understand what I mean. Yeshi walked in a hurry and saw the coffin again, as well as Snow White inside the coffin. He easily got rid of the princess who was blocking the way. He saw the noisy live broadcast room and said. I saw it. Hasn't someone already reminded you? I asked you to look at the three-body problem. It's such an obvious reminder, but you still don't understand. Yashi took out the key, as if the void pointed at a keyhole, and then opened the door. Click 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 click. A wooden door slowly opened, and at the same time, Yashi's voice came out. I said that the space has not changed at all, of course, because there is no concept of space at all in this place. Don't you remember the most popular weapon among the three bodies? That's two-way foil, dimensionality reduction strike. I said there is no change in space, of course, because I have been in a two-dimensional space. In a two-dimensional world, of course there is no concept of space. Is it difficult to understand? Yashi opened the door and looked at the camera, then raised his feet. Stepping out of an open book. WTF, 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 WTF. My scalp is really numb. Oh my god, what's going on? OMG. I understand, that's what it meant. It's so shocking, but what shocked me the most was that Yeshen actually understood this when he discovered that there was no space conversion. If it were me, I would definitely not be able to notice it at all. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 183. When Yashi said the words two-dimensional foil, many people were stunned. Then when they heard about the two-dimensional world, they were all dumbfounded. Damn, that's what it meant. My eyes were really open today. Many people instantly thought of the fairy tale told by Yun Tianming and a painting. I couldn't help but marvel. What's going on? It's linked to the three-body problem, right? This is really a fairy tale world, but it's two-dimensional, damn it. It's normal operation, don't be too surprised. The three fairy tales and fables in the three-body problem are about a two-dimensional world. I drew them all into the painting. To be honest, I didn't expect a science fiction novel to really break the wall. The words above make you look like a big boss. What wall facer? Oh no, wall breaker. Yashi walked out of a book, rubbed his brows. I just said, how could that world be so twisted? It turns out to be a fairy tale book. I entered the fairy tale world directly from the kettle, but when I came out of the fairy tale world, I never returned to the world of the kettle. It's interesting. Yashi looked at the camera and said this. Then he turned around and observed the environment here, and saw a clear spring, and a book was placed on one side of the clear spring. Yashi just came out of this book. In addition, Yashi could see a dense forest, which should be the mysterious forest that the system reminded him of. The authority he had never found before was in it. But this forest is very mysterious, not because of anything else. Just because there was a plaque with the word mysterious written on it, Yashi even laughed a little and made the audience a little speechless. I don't know if this thing was born naturally or if someone put it here. Yashi pointed to the plaque and said. But just the word mystery really made me feel speechless, and I don't know what I was thinking. At least I added the word forest to form a complete meaning. I can't stand it anymore. Is this how you would decorate a mysterious forest for me? If you carve the word mysterious on it, it will become the mysterious forest, right? So this is actually the mysterious forest of the Kettle realm. So where did we go just now? The fairy tale world of Kettle secret realm? This fairy tale book. Yashi turned around and looked at the fairy tale book. Just as he was about to say something, he saw that the original book slowly turned into a stone, and then turned into a sculpture, which made Yashi frown. And he took out the key and put it in the fairy tale book. He saw that the petrified fairy tale book gradually turned into paper. Then the water rippled and a door slowly opened. Yashi saw Snow White's coffin blocking the door again. Yashi. He experimented, shook his head, and then said to the audience in the live broadcast room. Okay, that's it for this fairy tale book. But its specific function still depends on whether we can find other information in the secret forest. Now we enter the forest to see what kind of forest it is that can be considered mysterious. After Yeshi said this, he pushed aside the jungle in front of him and walked out into the secret forest. Then, everyone saw it. Holy shit, we've come to the elf world, right? It's so beautiful, look at these little elves, there are big elves flying in the sky, its wings are so beautiful. In front of me is a piece of fluorescent light, with green vines glowing. The lantern flowers on the ground will emit a light glow as soon as they feel the breath. Most of the lantern flowers are white light, while some are emitting a faint blue light, and the divine light trembles the soul. The elves, which are about the size of an adult's palm, flap their wings and shuttle through the forest. Unicorns occasionally flew across the sky, and there seemed to be a girl with wings standing on top of them. There is also a girl with a magic horn on her head flying freely in the forest. Yeshi strayed into this dream world alone, but no one found it strange. Only occasionally, a few elves came close to Yeshi, filling his surroundings with a gentle light. I apologize for my reckless words before. I think this is indeed a mysterious forest. No, I think this should be called a dream forest. Wow, this is simply the scene in my dreams, and it is more bizarre than the elves in Lord of the Rings. It really shocked me. Hey, Lao Ye has done so many live broadcasts to explore the secrets. This is my favorite one. Oh, it's so beautiful, my Lao Ye. Yeah, what you said upstairs gave me goosebumps. This place is very suitable as a filming location for a movie. To be honest, every location explored by Yeshen is very suitable as a filming location for a movie. If a movie is really shot, I don't know how beautiful it will be. Is it possible? Of course I am talking about possibility, this is actually a movie. I won't tell anyone who has exposed their black feet. I never expected that there would be such a lake in the mysterious forest. It's really completely different from any place I've been to before. Although I may not discover any amazing mysterious history this time, I already feel very comfortable looking at everything in front of me. This is a unique adventure experience. It's so different, I like it so much. I want to go to different places to explore like Yeshen again. Being able to see so many different scenery makes me feel that life has meaning. The previous few times he took us to see the history of the ancient blue star, Mars, and the solar system, it was really thrilling, but this time he took us to see the scenery of the fairy tale world, which gave us a different perception. In short, it was great. Got it, I want more. It's a pity that I am not a blue star person, otherwise I would be able to see the explorer. Now I can only see the explorer in front of the screen, and I cannot contact him in person. Otherwise, I really want to know about this omnipotent explorer from heaven to see what kind of person is Chia. Everyone is right. In fact, I don't want to seek more secrets or information right now. I will just walk around and show you the scenery. Yes, she said. Then he passed through some wooden piles and some elves, and walked towards the front. But I only walked for a few minutes. When I was young, I saw a sea of flowers. There is actually nothing surprising about the sea of flowers. What is surprising is that some of these flower buds are in bloom, and among the blooming buds, there was a person as big as Thumbelina lying in the flower room. All in all, people watching the scene felt extremely happy. I met the real Thumbelina, yay. Will there be a snail girl later? Ha 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 ha. This mysterious forest and the previous fairy tale world are so interesting. I really hope that the next time I explore the secrets, I will go to a place like this. I really feel that civilizations from different worlds are colliding. I am from planet XXXX. I hope you will come to our place as a guest. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 184. Although cultures and civilizations in different worlds are completely different, everyone's appreciation of beauty is the same. No, it should be said that everyone can appreciate the beauty shown in the secret realm of the kettle. This seems to be a place where everyone can feel the charm. It was completely different from what Yeshi had expected. And Yeshi didn't expect that after he started the interstellar live broadcast, he would live broadcast food at the first station, fairy tales at the second station, and elves at the third station. This wave of cultural output belongs to Blue Star. In the previous comments in his live broadcast room, many aliens were critical, disdainful, and ridiculed towards Yeshi and Blue Star, especially some of the planets with extraordinary powers. In fact, he looked down upon the mortal Blue Star where Yeshi was, so they had several quarrels. And as the live broadcast process moves forward step by step, they also watched Yeshi's previous live broadcasts and were somewhat convinced by Yeshi, but they still looked down upon Blue Star as a whole. Of course, although I am sure of the beautiful scenery and delicious food here, I still shouldn't like it. No matter how beautiful the scenery is, without strong strength, it is just a piece of sand. If you are interested, you can come to our Emperor Star. There are unparalleled divine ruins here, but no one has ever seen the real Nantianmen. This barrage in the live broadcast room suddenly exploded, which made some people a little confused. What the hell is Nantianmen? It's so funny. We also met the divine generals of the heavenly court. They didn't care about bragging and didn't even look at who Yeshen was. They were all sent to the sun prison to serve as fuel. I guess even Behemoth can't beat Behemoth, let alone Arlong. I'm really impressed by you people on this planet. Can't you just watch the live broadcast in peace, jumping up and down like a clown? TCH, it's not even a dragon. You can't raise a real dragon in a small place. What you see is probably a white dragon. Maybe it's not even a dragon. It can only fool ordinary people who have no vision. Hey, you are really visionary, come over here. This time, Yeshi completely put aside his desire to explore the secrets, and then enjoyed the scenery. Let's take a look at where the authority lies. Therefore, the journey was not as hurried as before, but I chatted with the fans in the live broadcast room from time to time. By the way, these elves and the scenery in front of me were mentioned. But I didn't expect. The barrage started making noise again. Yeshi had only occasionally seen the afterglow of the battlefield before, but now he was really surprised to see the battlefield clearly starting in front of him. Shengsu, Nantianmen, this time is actually connected to that planet. It's just the name that's totally wrong. Yeshi thought of the names of the 10 worlds given to him by the system and shook his head. He continued walking forward. Then I saw the ancient trees in the sky and the humanoid elves living in the wooden houses. Among them was a very conspicuous elf with white hair and red eyes. Therefore, the live broadcast room where they were still arguing suddenly stopped arguing. Not only did they not quarrel, they even unanimously launched barrages at Yeshi. Come closer, let's take a closer look. Yeshi. He really can't stand these netizens anymore. He waved his hand towards the wooden house from a distance, said hello and continued walking forward. What are you looking at? You can continue to quarrel. Yeshi thought that after he got the authority here, he could watch as long as he wanted. Why show it to those netizens now? He refused decisively and spoke very righteously. I don't want to disturb these elves, and I won't tell you directly what you think. Anyway, I won't take you to see it. If you want to see it, do it yourself. I am God, I am noble and upright, worthy of being the God of Yet. Golden Mouse, why do I feel like I'm just waiting to watch it later? Yang Xuanhuan, very possible. Yunran is me, how can you slander Yeshen like this? What does it mean to watch quietly? Yeshen has always been upright, look. After Yeshi said this, he continued to walk forward. It took about half an hour to walk. Yeshi walked at a normal speed this time, and saw many unheard of creatures along the way. The ones he had never seen before could only exist in dreams and fantasies. It was really eye-opening. Then Yeshi was blocked again. Only this time it was not Snow White that blocked his path, but a thorn tree. It's a real thorn tree. The inverted thorns can penetrate the leaves without any problem. However, At this time, Yeshi heard the system reminder sound in his ear. Ding, congratulations to the host. The exploration of the kettle map has increased by 60%. The overall progress is now 100%. Ding, congratulations to the host on the successful completion of this exploration. All the kettle secret realm maps have been explored. Please check the corresponding maps on your own. Ding, congratulations to the host for unlocking the third puzzle piece of the kettle secret realm. You will be rewarded with Fantasy Power X1, Golden Walnut X10, God's Blessing X1, Elf Encyclopedia X1, and Kettle Secret Realm Fragments X2. Kettle Secret Realm Illustrated Book, Thorn Tree, Mysterious Forest. The Thorn Tree, yes, this is the fantasy authority you have always wanted to find, which is very similar to the fantasy authority in your hand, but the authority has thorns and no one can remove it. Of course, you are different. Please click to receive it, and you will get a complete fantasy authority. Mysterious Forest, this is the second world of fantasy authority. These two worlds together are actually the secret realm of the kettle, but because you have obtained the fantasy authority in advance, you will not need to reach the real secret realm of the kettle. Anyway, now both the kettle carrying the authority and the kettle itself are yours. Fantasy authority, it is a naturally born authority and god, part of the creator, but due to special reasons it fell into the kettle, but the kettle is also an extremely powerful magic weapon, just temporarily sealed up. Even so, it can also be combined with your authority, and then become a more complete creator. God's blessing, this is God's blessing, blessing the world, but now you are God, so you will bless yourself, and luck will always be with you, especially your dream-related things. Elf Encyclopedia, these are the ones you have seen along the way, please check, my host. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Pian Hai. Chapter 185. Yeshi didn't expect that the exploration of the secret realm of the kettle would end so quickly this time. However, after calculating the time, he found that it was not fast. After all, according to the actual time flow speed, a few days had passed. But seeing that the things he wanted were delivered to him so easily, Yeshi was not very happy, but even felt a little disgusted in his heart. After discovering this emotion, Yeshi couldn't help but sigh that human nature is really cheap. The things delivered to him are too easy to dislike. He has to work hard to get the things in his hands before he feels good. Then, when he gets them, he starts to dislike them again. However, Yeshi quickly threw this idea behind his head and looked at the thorn tree in front of him. If you ask what the characteristics of this thorn tree are, I guess all the netizens who are watching the live broadcast now will say one thing: big. It's humming big. If you have to use something to compare it, then this tree is the size of a titan among trees. Yeshi couldn't see the end of the sky, the left, or the back. Not to mention the barbs that are almost several meters long. They instantly ran from the fairy tale world to the murder scene. Too exaggerated. Is it that serious? Even if an adult bear runs here, it will be pierced through after running a few steps. Is it necessary to be so exaggerated? It's really enough. To be honest, this is too big, and you look at the sky. I just zoomed in and found that other trees in the forest seem to be derived from this tree. I always feel like I saw something incredible. Do you think a magician riding a broom will suddenly appear in this tree? Blue Star, my question is, what are these barbs for? Although it looks a bit scary, I feel that if I shrink my body a little and pay more attention, I can avoid it. Baidu Star region, it's just a small secret realm. Anyone in our world can sweep it. I don't know what I need to pay attention to. Yeshi took a few steps forward, then pointed to the thorn tree in front of him and said, I didn't expect that after going around in circles, I still found the core of this secret realm. The thorn tree you see in front of you should be the source of the fairy tale world and the elf world we encountered before. I can clearly feel the energy fluctuations from the same source when I stand here. This special energy spreads out from the thorn tree in front of me, and then surges in all directions, constructing the entire world. And the fairy tale world is also maintained in this way. It seems that this is the ultimate core of the kettle's secret realm. Yashi pondered for a while, pointed at the thorn tree and said while looking at the camera. And the kettle we saw before, the kettle should be carrying this thorn tree that emits energy, and then the thorn tree transformed into a different world, so we have what we saw before. Tisk, I don't know what the kettle's secret realm is until now. I'm afraid the reason why it is called this name in ancient books is because the object carrying the secret realm is a kettle. I thought there was something I didn't notice before. After Yeshi explained the cause and effect, many netizens who didn't understand the 4 words kettle secret realm finally understood, and after understanding, they wanted to complain. So, it turns out that it's because of the kettle shape, thanks to my analysis of a series of hidden lines and various abnormalities in the live broadcast evidence, almost convinced myself, it turned out to be fake. I thought of so many profound explanations, and pulled out the ancient myths of each culture, but it turned out to be called the kettle's secret realm just because it was a kettle as expected. Just watch the live broadcast, don't think about competing with Yeshen in IQ. Lizhija from the Big Dipper, you people, should also pay attention to the degree of flattery. If you flatter normally, some people will believe it, but if you flatter too much, no one will believe it. After Yeshi explained, he wanted to go forward and touch the thorn tree, and turned back to talk to the live broadcast room. As a result, he saw that many people in the live broadcast room began to mock, most of them mocked Blue Star and belittled themselves. Seeing this, Yeshi raised his eyebrows, but did not speak, but continued to walk forward. It seems that because of the passage of time, more and more people from the other 9 planets appeared in the live broadcast room. Of course, the most arrogant among them were those netizens from the Big Dipper, who spoke recklessly and really deserved a beating. Lizhija from the Northern Dipper Star region, I don't know how an ordinary person from the Mortal Star region can be praised like this. Even if he is a little special, he can't be compared with our real cultivation world. I'm telling the truth, the places you said this person explored are not dangerous at all. If you don't believe me, let him come to the Teishu ancient mine. I will definitely show you what a truly dangerous secret realm is. Pangbo, you've exaggerated. I mean upstairs, my good brother just came back from mining there. He's in a good mood now. Lasgolder from the Wajin Star, I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to go to the mysterious planet of Blue Star to taste their delicacies. It must be very memorable. Just when many people didn't notice, Yeshi had already walked in front of the thorn tree, and then stretched out his hand and stuck it on the thorn tree. Without any strange fluctuations, the thorn tree that enveloped the entire world disappeared on the spot. The whole world was filled with screaming sounds, and even the world began to collapse. Certainly, Yeshi was actually just keeping it for fun. After realizing that he had taken the whole thing away, the whole world was crumbling. Yeshi did not hesitate and put the thorn tree back. Yunran is me. Was I distracted just now? Did I not notice anything? Why did it feel like the entire live broadcast room just lit up? If you pull up the progress bar, you will find that for about 3 seconds, the thorn tree mysteriously disappeared. As for where it went, you have to ask Yeshen, of course. As for why it disappeared and came back, I still recommend asking Yeshen. While you were busy arguing, Yeshen had already completed a big thing silently. I won't tell you who the clown is, because it's not us Blue Star people. Yeshi put down his hand. It's almost teleportation. No, it's teleportation. He appeared directly outside the thorn tree, then waved to the camera. This expedition to the kettle's secret realm is really the most relaxing adventure I have ever had. But seeing this kind of fairy tale world is a worthwhile trip. Look at how noisy everyone is. Sorry, this exploration ended early. Yeshi turned off the live broadcast before anyone could react. As for why he was so anxious, naturally, as his authority expanded, his world also began to undergo drastic changes. The changes in the world fed back Yeshi's identity. He could feel the power inside his body rising to an unimaginable level. Then a heavy sleep came over me. Yeshi quickly opened the door and fell asleep in the sea of his own world before returning to bed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Xuanhuan Hai. Chapter 186. This improvement in the world caught Yeshi off guard. He almost fell asleep as soon as he stepped into his own world. As for how much the world has changed, Yeshi couldn't see it, but Kraken did. It is almost as if there is a pair of invisible hands, or the Creator himself comes and unfolds the world. The world that originally had a round sky gradually turned into a ball. The nebulae and floating roads were still within the world, but outside the sky. And the sea is becoming more and more endless. Even according to the status of the Kraken, after diving 30,000 meters, it can no longer continue. Because the seawater here is energy seawater, it brings too much pressure to life. The whirlpool like the eye of the sea has grown as big as a small piece of land. The hurricane is raging in it, and it seems that it can swallow all life from a distance. However, this is not the biggest change in Hin. Instead, it actually attracted the nebulae in the sky. A small cluster of nebulae fell into the eye of the sea. The energy of different dimensions attracted by the Kunlun sacred tree also gathered into the eye of the sea. This scene looks very dreamy. Everything in the sky, on the earth, in the sea, ends up in the eye of the sea. It really looks exactly like the legendary Gigzu. I don't know how many hundreds of millions of miles to the east of the Bohai Sea, there is a big ravine. It is actually a bottomless valley. There is no bottom under it. It is called Gigzu. The water of the 8 rivers and 9 fields, the currents of the heaven and the Han dynasty, all pour into it, and there is no increase. Kraken didn't know this sentence recorded in the ancient books of the Dragon Kingdom, but he was also very afraid of this place. He originally just wanted to stay away from it. But he didn't expect that Yeshi drifted all the way to the eye of the world, and Kraken couldn't hold Yeshi at all, so he could only stay with Yeshi. In the huge eye of the sea, I saw a humanoid creature floating in it. During the period when Yeshi's world was upgrading. The world outside has also undergone earth-shaking changes, extraordinary power has fully recovered. I don't know how long it took, in fact it didn't take long at all. Yeshi woke up. When he saw his own world for the first time, Yeshen even suspected that he was in the wrong place. The next second he was sure that this was his own world, and then remembered how long it had been. For a moment, he even worried about the vicissitudes of life and the failure of the chess game, but when he asked the system, he found that only 15 days had passed. It's really enough to achieve the effect of 150,000 years in 15 days. In fact, it was because there were countless rare and exotic treasures in Yeshi's world, and the most useful one was the Kunlun sacred tree, which shortened the long-term evolution of the world to 15 days. After he discovered this, he was fully convinced that he had made a wise move by asking the system to move the wooden stakes of the Kunlun sacred tree. Besides, the bigger of the 2 Chi dragons didn't know what was going on. After the world is upgraded, squatting on the floating road becomes a dragon looking at the mirage in the sky. Yeshi looked around the whole world. It was discovered that the interior of the world had not changed much except that it had expanded dozens or hundreds of times, because the buildings, land, and oceans had also expanded accordingly. Everything has changed, except for the big chun tree that Yeshi threw casually in a corner, which still looks half dead. Although there were 7-day cicadas watching eagerly next to them, these trees were as if they were lying flat, with no change at all, which made Yeshi feel helpless after seeing them. Then Yeshi took another look at his collection. It turned out that during the upgrading process of the world, these objects were unsealed and upgraded. Many ordinary crystals have been upgraded several notches. But now these crystals are only for viewing and occasional teleportation for Yeshi. As for the other glittering treasures and jade, they were all thrown into his study by Yeshi as decorations. And wandering around the world again, he soon discovered a completely different place. This place is the Kettle secret land that Yeshi visited. The Kettle is completely separated from the world inside. The fairy tale world and the elf world all fell into Yeshi's world. At this time, the characters in these two worlds were looking at the new world with curiosity. Yeshi looked from a distance and saw many elves coming out flapping their wings, looking at the sea and the boundless sky from a distance, chirping, and was very surprised. And those creatures from the fairy tale world, such as Little Red Riding Hood and Big Wolf, walked cautiously in the mysterious forest one behind the other. Wow, Chief Yang Yang, the ground here is hard, and it can't be eaten and won't melt. Little Red Riding Hood's exclamation voice reached Yeshi's ears. He thought for a moment and looked at the island that had been enlarged several times. Finally, he waved and added a bridge to this isolated island. The bridge led to the main continent, where Yeshi stayed. My world is getting better and better. Yeshi stood in the clouds and looked at the elves and fairy tale characters for a while, and then sighed. Along with the good news, there is also bad news. That is, all the dinosaurs Yeshi threw into the volcano died and have now become volcanic fossils. As for Kraken, he was swimming in the sea, climbing ashore from time to bask in the sun, and playing with the little stone men was very pleasant. This is all good, except for one thing that Yeshi is dissatisfied with. That is, there is no sun in my own world. What secret place should I explore so that I can get the sun as a reward? Ding, searching now. There is a way to create the sun in the solar prison, please choose the host freely. Yeshi nodded. Then suddenly I realized something was wrong. That's not right, system. Didn't you always search for me before and then ask me to explore specific secret realms? You mean, I can now freely choose the map I want to explore? Ding, yes, your direction is the direction of this system. Yeshi didn't expect this system to be so considerate, but he was still very pleased. Then he returned to his home, lay on the rocking chair in the yard, and opened his exploration map to see where he could go. It's just a thought in my heart. The entire universe spread out in front of Yeshi, and there were only a few tiny bits in the universe. Especially the circle of light close to the blue star is the most obvious. He clicked to open the solar system on the other side of the blue star, that is, the Milky Way star field, and then looked elsewhere. Just as he was examining the mysterious exploration map of all realms, the little Chi dragon came down from the Kunlun sacred tree, flew to Yeshi's side, then rubbed against it, and fetched a rocking chair from somewhere. Hanging next to Yeshi and sleeping. Yeshi glanced at the other party helplessly and continued to look at the map in front of him. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 187. The boundless starry sky in front of Yeshi was the entire shrunken solar system. Apart from being scaled down an unknown number of times, there is no difference between the solar system in front of him and the real solar system. In the darkness, there were only a few glimmers of light. The brightest place was the blue star, followed by Mars. The other places seemed to have a dark filter added to them. If Yeshi zooms in on a place, a new map name will appear at that place. Click on it to see. Of course you can't watch it. Only when Yeshi goes there in person and explores the entire map, will a small one-to-one secret realm appear here, and then you can click in to view it. Just like the canal of Mars, Yeshi can now turn the entire Mars over and over, and infinitely enlarge any corner of the canal. But other planets cannot. And after looking around the solar system, Yeshi finally discovered something that was not a new discovery. The most mysterious place in the solar system was the blue star. Every time Yeshi thought he had a deep understanding of blue star, he would find that blue star had updated its version. It's the same this time. He was now looking at the many darkened areas of the blue star and was lost in thought. Before that, these areas were all brightly lit. Of course, for Yeshi, the most important thing is to go to the sun star and watch it up close. And I am thinking and choosing which map to choose for my next adventure. After thinking silently in my mind for a while, I decided on the place. After Yeshi woke up, he carefully checked the various changes and improvements in his body and found that his strength had improved by more than one level, and even his body seemed to have been sublimated, not like a human being. He now looks like a human being made of flesh on the outside, but in fact everything in his body is intertwined with divine power, and high-level energy flows in his body. Moreover, the Creator's authority has once again expanded. Even outside, Yeshi was already able to create things out of thin air. After trying his abilities, Yeshi was satisfied, but he was just curious about where he would develop in the future. Of course, while this is important. But what surprised Yeshi the most was the changes in the entire blue star. Why did I sleep for 15 days, making it seem like I had slept for 15 years? Now that spiritual practice has become so popular. Yeshi was extremely surprised when he looked at the rapidly passing comments on the internet and the messages under his own account. System, what's going on? Ding, Blue Star has completely upgraded its dimension. Yeshi remembered something. All his treasures were completely unsealed, and he asked the system at that time. The system told him that this was because his world had become perfect, so there were no restrictions on them. But now it seems that not only has his world been upgraded, but even Blue Star has undergone earth-shaking changes. However, Yeshi put down his phone after browsing for a while, and found nothing useful. Everyone is basically at the beginning. It can only be said that they are just starting to practice martial arts in the world of martial arts. No more points will be lost. After Yeshi organized all his equipment, he brought with him the things from the Sun prison and some weapons. Of course, there was one thing he couldn't forget, and that was the lucky gold coins. In addition to these, Yeshi did not plan to take a leisurely ride over in the spaceship this time, but planned to cross directly. But before that, Yeshi still made a small preview for his fans. Tomorrow, head towards the Sun star. As soon as this notice was issued, it was notified to 10 planets. Ignoring other planets for the time being, the words Blue Star instantly excited those who are addicted to martial arts. Okay, it's finally started. After waiting for a long time, I feel that the God of Leaves has appeared again. I thought I had been practicing for 20 days and had reached the transformation state, but when faced with Yeshen's return, I still couldn't help but want to see what kind of shock he would give us. What more shocking thing is there? Sun star, haven't you seen it? We are heading towards the Sun star. Isn't it the Sun prison? Will I be able to see the prisoners in the Sun prison? I wonder if there are any more alive. I don't know what the relationship between the Sun star you are talking about and the Sun here is, but if it is the same kind of Sun star, it is not recommended to go, because the Sun is inherently very dangerous, let alone the characters in it. If there are really prisoners imprisoned in the Sun, wouldn't they be seeking death if they entered? I rewatched the live broadcast on Mars, and I felt that the giant and the fireball dragged by the giant were very dangerous, but from my perspective, I felt that the giant was actually dying and the one that looked like the Sun, the fireball, also seems to be extinguished. It does not have full power at all. Blue Star people should not be greedy for a moment. Because Yeshi's messages were synchronized, many people from other planets rushed in at once, which confused those who did not follow Yeshi's live broadcast in time. Originally, many people were waiting for Yeshi to take off on his spaceship and then run around in the universe. You can also see the scenery of different universes. However, this time many people guessed wrong. Because when Yeshi appears again, before everyone could react, they saw a huge fireball. No, at first, the fireball was not clearly visible. All they could see was endless flames. As the camera zoomed out, everyone saw the fireball, which was the true face of the sun. It's so exciting right at the beginning, right? This is killing people. I can't see where Yeshen is, someone with better eyesight can tell me. No matter how good your eyesight is, it's not this good, whose eyes can magnify tens of thousands of times, now, let alone such a small Yeshen. Even if blue star runs next to the sun, I feel like I can't see it even if I'm blind. This sun is completely inferior to our Baidu Sunday as expected. You are just a mortal star field. I don't know why you got some treasure, so you can do the live broadcast you said, but the person who broadcasts is still a mortal in essence. This is correct. I see that the heroic figure of the doorframe brother can be vaguely seen upstairs. What's going on? Aliens have to go through the doorframe brother's experience, right? I think the people of Baidu should be telling the truth. Didn't you see the pictures they sent? Even the special effects of the movie can't produce this effect. What kind of ball trader is upstairs? Get out of Blue Star and go to your Baidu. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 188. The barrage started to get noisy again as expected. Unlike the previous one-sided support for Yeshi, ever since other planets joined the ranks of watching the live broadcast, the live broadcast room has been filled with doubts about him and contempt for Blue Star. Among them, Baidu is the most exaggerated. Of course, other star regions are not far behind. Because except for Blue Star, the other 9 planets can either cultivate immortality or you can pray to the gods, or you can practice something similar to magic. All in all, it's true that Blue Star is indeed the most popular among them. Although Yeshi's previous live broadcasts were very shocking, to people from other planets, they were nothing more than that. Fortunately, the live broadcast of 10 planets is the live broadcast of food and fairy tale. Most of the delicacies are common, so the barrage in that live broadcast room is relatively harmonious. But when it comes to exploring the sun, all kinds of real monsters and monsters rushed out at once, with all kinds of ridicule and disgust, and even more dissuasion. They say 3 people make a tiger. The Blue Star people who had great faith in Yeshi were unable to withstand the education given by these aliens in turn, and their trust began to waver. Yeshi stood in the universe still some distance from the sun, admiring the most important thing in the solar system. Looking back, when I was about to say something, I saw most of the barrage in the live broadcast room. His expression. But he quickly pulled the camera back, and Yeshi started to talk about the business. He pointed at the big fireball in front of him and said, "I believe you don't need to say more, everyone knows what this is. Although I said yesterday that we would move towards the sun star, and I had come across many records about the sun before, when I actually stood here, I still felt that the sun was worthy of being the planet that nurtured the entire solar system, full of with endless energy that is astounding. Thinking back to the fact that I learned on Mars that the sun is actually a prison, it makes me even more emotional. That's what kind of civilization there was here in ancient times. With the entire Mars as a canal and a sun star as a prison, how could such a generous civilization disappear without a trace?" When Yeshi said this, the barrage became somewhat quiet, and the people in Blue Star were very aware of this. If it weren't for Yeshen, I'm afraid we wouldn't know the truth of the world until we die. Yes, it feels like human beings are really small. Baidu Star territory, it's not that humans are small, it's you who are small. We Baidu are seeking immortality, and human power can reach the sky. It's just because you are mortals in the star territory that you think humans are small compared to the universe or the planet. If it were us, if the power of the planet comes, it can destroy your planet with one palm. Kick the doorframe, who doesn't talk big words. I'm laughing so hard if I'm just talking with white teeth, I can also boast that I'm the creator. You guys think you're so powerful, just wait until Yeshen goes live in your world. 1,000 miles away, Brother Menzhang is indeed capable of fighting. He is worthy of being the same Brother Menza who had been fighting Yeshen all the way to that adventure area in the desert. Now I'm back to my old business. After Yeshi finished speaking, it is like a ray of light traveling through the universe, occasionally stopping and staring in one direction of the sun. It seems like he is looking for something. Finally he stopped at a place, then pointed to a place and said, "Everyone can look at that place. Even the void universe has traces of burning flames. It should be the mark left by the solar ship dragged by the giant we met on Mars. Let me see where we walked into the sun. Can we see that giant again?" I felt so pitiful when he looked like that he was dragging the sun boat around, and tears fell down. His tears were bigger than mine. Now that I have returned to the Sun Star, I will not only tow the ship, but also guard the prison. I wonder if this giant is actually a prisoner in the prison. I had this speculation before. The more I think about it now, the more I think it is possible. I don't know what big mistake I made. No, what's going on? I think there's something wrong. Can you just go in like that, no need to make any preparations? And I didn't see any passage at all, I only saw very scary flames. Nothing will happen if you go in like this, right? Yeshi ignored the discussion on the barrage, just looked at the traces left by the sun ship, and then flew over. As you get closer, you can indeed discover that it is the solar boat. It is exactly the same as the trajectory of Mars in the void of Mars. But there is one difference, that is, the closer the trace is to the sun, the shallower it becomes. Some people didn't understand this and posted comments, and many people gave many explanations. Yeshi took a look and said, "It's because the energy of this solar ship is about to be exhausted, and for this reason, it will return to Mars at this time and recharge it. Now we follow the traces here and should still be able to see them." Yeshi said, speeding up and looking at the sun. God Ye is worthy of being God Ye. After jumping into magma, he jumped into the sun. What kind of God on earth is he? I wonder what is inside the sun, whether there is some kind of three-legged golden crow or something like that. If there is one, it should be the prisoner. Do you want to see it? Baidu has a three-legged golden crow. If you really want to see it, you can come to our Baidu to see it. The barrage has everything it says. And Yeshi was already close to the edge of the sun. Everyone discovered that the sun star was not a big fireball as everyone imagined. On the contrary, the sun seems to have been polluted. There are many black spots mixed in it, which makes people feel very uncomfortable at a glance. Some people even begin to think that the sun is evil. And Yeshi actually felt uncomfortable. It's okay if you're in the distance, but if you look at the sun from close up, there's no corresponding protection. It will definitely be polluted by the sun. But why does no one else mutate in the radiance of this polluted sun? Yeshi didn't quite understand. Just at this time, a familiar voice came. "Ding, congratulations to the host for improving the exploration of the sun star map by 16%. The overall progress is now 16%. Ding, congratulations to the host for unlocking the first puzzle piece of the sun star. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment." Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 189. When Yeshi noticed the black spots on the sun star, he realized that something must have happened to the prison. What happened was actually within his expectation. After all, Mars had learned from the past. However, being polluted like this is quite unexpected. Certainly. What puzzled Yeshi the most was that the black spots in the sun that contain polluting factors and will degrade as long as you look at them are extremely exaggerated. They are so exaggerated that they cover the entire sun star. If you look at it this way, all pollution will inevitably spread to the entire solar system through sunlight. However, in this case, how does the solar system maintain such tranquility? This is wrong. This thought flashed through Yeshi's mind. It's weird. It's weird. I haven't entered the sun star yet, and you're giving me such a difficult problem. He looked at the polluted spots the camera pointed at the sun star and said, "It's beyond my expectation." Although I knew that the sun prison might be like Mars, from now on, Mars can still survive, while the entire sun planet seems to be finished. Yeshi's tone was filled with surprise as he continued. The outside is like this, and I don't know what the inside is like. I have to be fully prepared this time to avoid encountering any disgusting things. Yeshi looked at the barrage. But I saw that the barrage was full of feedback from many people, all of whom said that they felt uncomfortable all over the body at that moment just after the sun came closer. Although the system has mosaicked these pollution sources in the first place. But for those with high spiritual awareness, they can feel through these mosaics that there are thousands of ants climbing on their bodies, and it is like a person has entered the world of maggots, experiencing all kinds of nausea and vomiting. The most serious one among them. It was Lizhija from the Baidu Star territory. He actually started to mutate. Yeshi warned those watching the live broadcast to quickly exit the live broadcast room if they felt uncomfortable. It is said that the sun star that this exploration came to is probably the most polluted place on all the maps. At the same time, he was also paying attention to the reminders given to him by the system. Ding! Congratulations to the host for improving the exploration of the sun star map by 16%, and the overall progress is now 16%. Ding! Congratulations to the host for unlocking the first puzzle piece of the sun star. You will be rewarded X1 artificial sun, X1 fallen heart flame, and X3 map fragments of the sun star. Sun star illustration, sun star, solar flare, coronal sunspot. Sun star, the sun is a nearly infinite source of energy, but this does not mean that its energy is born out of thin air. From the perspective of blue stars technology, the source of the sun's energy is due to nuclear fusion at all times. Have you ever wondered why nuclear fusion can occur all the time? Solar flare, you have seen part of the sun as a star much larger than the blue star. In addition to possessing terrifying energy fluctuations, it also has some taboo-like things attached to it. These taboos refer to the prison of the sun. Those prisoners also refer to the marks left after burning those prisoners. Corona sunspots, when the blooming power is emitted in the form of light, the darkness settles down, accumulating deeper and deeper, so that it can easily affect life, change life, and become them. Artificial sun, it is different from what you think. This thing is not even an experimental product. It is just a toy made by a father for his daughter. Even so, it is a treasure full of power, but for you it's not worth mentioning. My suggestion is to throw it away after you return to ruins, and you will be able to give birth to a new existence. Falling heart flame, calm down first. This is not the same thing as what you remember, it just happens to have the same name. It is a special flame of consciousness. A flame is a flame and can self-generate. The most important thing is the function is to remove pollution. What you have in your hand is the last fallen heart inflammation of the entire sun star, the number of which was countless 30,000 years ago. Yeshi could see that the number of people in the live broadcast room was declining. Among them, the largest number of people from the Baidu Star region should have left. In the eyes of some cultivators, seeing sun star like this is like ordinary people encountering a biological crisis, which is simply unacceptable. After Yeshi received the new knowledge, he once again looked at the traces left by the solar ship, thinking in his mind that the giant he had encountered and the solar ship, him, were in a very bad situation. If you can't bear it anymore, please exit the live broadcast room. Now I will follow their route into the sun. Yeshi said as he walked, but as he got closer to the sun, the feeling that something was wrong around him became stronger and stronger. Hey, Why doesn't it feel right? I have a feeling that I am going to some kind of hell or death. As long as you are brave, you are not afraid of death. What's the point? You guys can question Yeshen's professionalism, just rush in and that's it. It's not me who rushes. I have seen a living bodhisattva, but I didn't expect to see a living king of hell like you upstairs. Yeshen is really lucky to have fans like you. Living king of hell, I'm here. Why are you calling me? Bai Vuchang? Fanwuju? Nyuduapong, wow, we have gathered 4 of us, Mr. Fu, let's play mahjong together. Yeshi didn't know it yet, so he shouted out the living king of hell. He just looked at the footprints and flame marks in the universe and accelerated his speed. The place Yeshi was looking at was a corner of the sun, less than 1 billionth or 1/10 billionth. But the radiation of the flames is probably as vast as a continent. Looking closer, those coronal sunspots look like dark spots on a person's face. In the sun, there is a black mist where fire is watered and then rises. As Yeshi approached, the black mist wrapped around Yeshi's body. People who are still in the live broadcast room can't bear the flames coming towards their faces, let alone the extremely uncomfortable black spots all over their bodies. Many people who did not quit before are now quitting the live broadcast room. Damn, what the hell, why are these black spots so densely packed with small holes? Even if there is a mosaic, I can still feel the sticky nausea. What the hell is this? Kick the door frame. Are the people from Baidu Star still there? If so, give me a 1. Let me see if they are all blocked from the first stop of Yeshen's expedition to Sun Star. Oh, you still want to be with us? Blue Star comparison, can you compare? Peng Wei, what the hell is this? When I look at it, I feel like it's trying to change my body. Senri Buriro, you haven't read the episode about Snake God. The same is true for that episode. I haven't read it completely until now. It seems that this kind of thing will assimilate all the life that sees them, even non-life. Yeshen mentioned it, but I didn't quite understand it. Yang Xuanhuan, the essence is because the life classes are so different. Just by being separated by thousands of miles and billions of miles, lives can be changed. I can't believe how Yeshi is standing in that place now. Although Yeshi was a little surprised by the changes in Sun Star this time. But everything is under control. Except for one. That is Yeshida, in the process of searching for the Sun Star. Suddenly, he felt the fluctuation of space energy coming around him. It seems that there are beings from outside the territory coming. Exploring the world, starting from the discovery of the white bone dragon pond. Author, Wo Yi Pian Hai. Chapter 190. Because of the polluted coronal sunspots this time, Yeshi's live broadcast room. So many people who could not bear this huge amount of pollution left the live broadcast room, resulting in a much smaller number of viewers. But even if it is reduced, it is only a reduction in proportion. The base is too large, and this live broadcast room still has tens of billions or even hundreds of billions of people watching at this time. Therefore, near Yeshi, when a space opened, many people watching his live broadcast noticed in an instant that something like a disc-like spaceship came out of the space, and aliens of unknown races quickly emerged from it. This spaceship is extraordinary. There are only stars, as if it has refined the stars. The space opened up has not completely disappeared until now. The void is connected to somewhere, but the space storm is raging, which is extremely dangerous. The disk spaceship is silver-white, very similar to the legendary flying saucer. When it appeared in the live broadcast room, it almost directly illuminated this piece of the universe, and even repelled the flames emitted by the sun star. It looks very powerful. What is this? Why does it look so unusual? Have you found the star field of the blue star so quickly? In fact, blue star is just a mortal star field. There is no need to spend so much effort to locate and colonize it. What happened? What did the people on your planet do? It's a pity for this anchor. I watched his previous live broadcasts and this one, which were very interesting. It seems that he will die here now. Which planet is this from? So fast, We are still studying the location here. How come you teleported there so quickly? It's a pity. I feel that this solar system is interesting, but you are going to get there first, alas. What's wrong with you aliens? It's really the dark forest, right? As soon as a new world appears, it will destroy a world, right? XXX, I thought we were good friends. I didn't go there. I've said it many times. Don't be so arrogant without the ability to protect yourself. Live broadcasting in 10 different star regions is just providing opportunities for colonization and invasion. You guys are still praising this ball so highly. The appearance of the disk spaceship was quite amazing, especially after it fixed the flame of the sun star, which made many people exclaim and sigh at its power. Not to mention the various shocks and popular sciences in the Linsai galaxy on the barrage. And the people of the Baidu galaxy muddied the waters, which made many people know how unfathomable and powerful the origin of this treasure was. Many Blue Star people couldn't help looking at Yeshi and worried about Blue Star. But saw Yeshi's expression was shocked. Obviously he was also extremely surprised, and the Blue Star people couldn't help feeling anxious. Yeshi, who was shocked, had a strange look on his face. Yeshi looked at the spaceship of the Linsai galaxy, then glanced at the live broadcast room, and was about to say something. But he didn't expect that in just half a minute, the barrage had changed him from Yeshen to Chi-Rape. He really had nothing to say. Especially when he saw many Blue Star people's barrages scolding him for synchronizing the live broadcasts of the other 9 planets. Now it's alright, the real Trisolarians have invaded. Yeshi was speechless about these remarks, and when he opened his mouth to say something, the rumble of a spaceship interrupted his voice. It turned out that the disk spaceship detected Yeshi and landed 7 or 8 meters in front of Yeshi. It's over. How powerful is the civilization that can locate through a live broadcast? Old Ye told you not to waste time, and now it's alright, and you've lost your life. Oh my god, the spaceship fell down. What should I do, Yeshen? Why are you still calling him Yeshen? He was the one who brought the devils into the door, and you still call him Yeshen. He doesn't deserve it. Upstairs, you were not like this before. I remember that you licked Yeshen so much that you didn't even want your mother. Kick the doorframe. You are still too young, Tisk. You are not firm at all. I don't know what Yeshen really means. The cloud is burning. Old Ye, hurry up, pick up the bucket and run away. If you don't run now, when will you run? One thing that Yeshi didn't expect and was quite relieved was that when the situation was so critical, the people who had criticized him before disappeared, and instead, there were a lot of barrages shouting for him to run away. Something like there is a green mountain, there is no fear of running out of firewood / Something like running away is the best strategy among the 36 strategies. Seeing this, he really wanted to explain that he really didn't need to run away. Did you misunderstand something? But at this moment, the door of the disk spaceship suddenly opened. Yeshi's open mouth closed again. He just held his forehead and sighed. What's the point? I came billions of light years away just to die. What's the point? Yeshi's muttering voice spread out and reached 10 star fields. Among them, the people of Linsai Galaxy sneered, thinking that Yeshi was just swelled up his face to make a fat face. While people in other star fields began to speculate whether Blue Star would become a slave or something in the future. Hiss hiss hiss. Those who appeared from the spaceship didn't even see their appearance clearly, and they turned into black spots in the sunlight. Live broadcast room. What happened? The thing that was so magical was completely destroyed in one encounter. Kicking the doorframe. Sir, times have changed. Yeshi spread his hands helplessly. I wanted to say it before, but you interrupted me several times in a row. Even if you aliens want to locate, can you locate a more normal place? Good guy, you located directly near the sun. It's really an old man who wants to die. Look, you turned into a spot in the sun as soon as you came out. The pollution here is so serious that even your spaceship can't stand it, let alone yourselves. Just as Yeshi was speaking, everyone saw that the disk spaceship that was praised as magical gradually began to shrink, and then the silver-white color slowly turned into black and red, and finally turned into complete black, and disappeared directly into the universe.